Howdy folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again. Welcome back to NASCAR Thunder 2004. It is time to go to Michigan. Yes, we still have this, I'll be honest with you, it's not that good of a looking of a race car, okay? Yeah, it's got some Denny Hamlin, some Martin Truex Jr. vibes, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. So let's go to team management, sponsorship. So the Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Well, let's say they're not the happiest cats in the barn, but let's just say they don't need a scratching post to calm their anger. They're pretty happy. They're pretty chill. But their expectations are kind of through the roof. Rank first in points. Qualify in the top 5 and finish in first place. So we could lead every single lap at a Bristol night race. 49 laps, or lead 49 straight laps, qualify on pole. But if we don't finish first, they're ticked. Now, I don't know if that's just darn good racing passion, or is that just a bunch of unappreciative sponsors. So anyways, so going to the engine shop here. The only one that needs to be worked on is actually our strongest yet. I'm not even going to work on it, guys. I mean, think about it. It's an 80 power with a 68 efficiency. It's still higher grade. Engine number 13, I'm telling you, that's a hot rod, baby. So anyways, so we're building one here, but we can get some work done at the shop. Let's see. So our short track one's pretty good. Let's see. Daytona, let's see. We're going to Michigan, so we'll have Michigan, and then we would have Infineon. So let's go ahead and get the Daytona body ready to go. It'll be ready for the Pepsi 400 after Infineon. So let's go check out your updated point standings. So after the action down in Pocono with Kevin Harvick, pretty much pulled an all-star race, and we finished, well, second again. Think about it, guys. We nearly won the all-star. We nearly won the 600. We nearly win Dover. We nearly win Pocono. We're getting close, but we're not hitting on base. You know what I'm saying? We're getting close, though. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. is absolutely in championship form. 11 top 10s, 10 top 5s. The average finish of a 7.0. Very, very close in, I would say, resemblance to Ryan Newman of last season, your defending champion. But we're 291 points out. I'm not willing to count anyone out just yet. But realistically, you've got to be in the top 20 right now. So I think after Daytona, we'll probably start eliminating anyone outside of 600 points. But right now, there's still enough wiggle room to kind of find your way in it. And speaking of Daytona, let's get an update. So we're in the middle of the summer stretch here in 2008. So we kicked it off with the Pocono 500. Harvick and Richard Childress Racing picked up their second points-paying win of the season, third overall. Got Michigan there. After that, the Dodge Sade Mark 350, left and right turns up there in California. Then after that, it's the Pepsi 400, not the crown jewel, but definitely a spectacular event, 4th of July weekend. And after that, we're going up to Illinois for some Chicagoland 1.5 mile racing. Now, I'd love to make this car look beautiful and all kinds of jazz, but truth be told, it's just a hard sponsor to make look good. Honestly, it really is, because I try to make these paint schemes that fit the sponsor's culture. No other YouTuber does that, right? They just put, oh, this car is sponsored by Goodyear. It's sponsored by Outback. Let's just put the colors on it. Now, I think about the year that this sponsor is on our car, right? If it's a 2000, the sponsors they're going to be more mundane 90s style paint schemes. But if it's 2010, it's going to be a lot more modern. So you kind of have to change your paint scheme and color combination to kind of fit that year period, right? That's what I do, at least. Not everyone has to. So we're going to definitely Michigan. We're going to want that extra engine horsepower. And we got a, not the best downforce, but you know what? We're going to run it. Car rating of 80. Let's go to the Sirius Satellite Radio 400. Alrighty, folks. So they qualified 7th for the Sirius 400. Let's go to the track side up here in Michigan.
MRN is coming to you live from Michigan International Speedway for today's Sirius 400.
Michigan is known for some great racing and some fantastic finishes. Barney, what are your thoughts on this track?
Michigan is wide with plenty of banking in the turns. You can get 3 wide pretty easily here. That always makes for some exciting race action.
2002 was supposedly an off-season for Jeff Gordon with 3 wins and a 4th place points finish.
You know, that just goes to show you what's expected out of this team. With 3 wins and 19 top 10s, there are a lot of teams that would not mind having Gordon's off year.
Mark Martin always seems to come up just a little short of the championship battle.
He's been the Winston Cup runner-up 4 times now, and for a guy this competitive, that has to hurt. But every year, he's right back in the hunt, and eventually his number will come up.
The Monte Carlo car has a solid top 10 spot in the standings so far.
He's been working hard this season, and it is paying off so far. He'll need a good finish in this one to gain some spots.
Here we go, folks. It is a beautiful day out here in Michigan. Maybe a little bit overcast, but it is NASCAR on TNT because this is 2008. Tony Stewart is out there. Look at that Jeff Bird car. Holy cow, that thing's beautiful. So it's Gordon and Tony Stewart on the front row here. We qualified 7th, and there's one thing really interesting about this paint scheme that I noticed. So yeah, it's plain, it's mundane, it's a bootleg FedEx car. It looks like a cheap Darlington throwback, let's be honest, right? Of the OG Denny Hamlin paint schemes. But if you notice in the logo, it's blue and silver. Look at that little thin silver line above the blue. Doesn't that kind of remind you of like a chrome stripe? So now that I look at this paint scheme, it actually kind of makes sense a little bit. That thin silver line kind of has a little bit of a shadow to it. It reminds me of like a chrome accent piece you would see on like a mid-60s or 70s sedan. So it's not all bad, but it's definitely not the most coolest paint scheme in the garage. Anyways, we gotta watch the gear ratio here because this car is zooming. We don't want to blow an engine here. But it's Michigan. It's a very good track for us. And with us being like 291 points out, we're second in points, guys. Second in points. Like, that is unbelievable. And that just shows you how consistent Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been in this unprecedented year of 2008. Think about it. Jeff Green has visited victory lane. Scott Wimmer, Michael Waltrip twice as well. Kyle Petty. Oh, Carpet Harvick just Harvicked us into the wall. That was my fault. I'll take it. But think about that. 2 wins for Mikey, Jeff Green, Scott Wimmer, Kyle Petty. All of those have went to victory lane this season. It has been an unprecedented year. And get this, your defending champion, no wins thus far in 2008. So Dale Jr.'s already on the prowl. We got some right side damage. That should kind of slow us down a little bit, so we might be able to stay in the gas a little bit longer, but we don't need to have happen back to us what happened at Texas. Kind of a word vomit there. At Texas Motor Speedway, we were going to win the race most likely, and we had an engine failure. It was a driver error. I sailed it too hot into the corner. We had the RPMs too high, trying to get around a Michael Waltrip on the front stretch, and yeah. We cooked the engine somehow, someway we were able to get it repaired, and we finished 3rd. We rallied, and that was a season-saving move because if we would have finished 30th where we restarted with about 5 or 6 laps to go, we'd probably be 350, 370 points out right now. So take that for full consideration. Anyways, Dale Jr. is able to slice and dice through the field, but we're not able to keep that consistent momentum that we need. So now we're stuck in 11th. And we're relying heavily on drafting. Go back to Auto Club. We didn't have a great car, but we had a top 10 car. We rallied at the last lap to get around Mark Martin for that 10th place spot. But I just feel like our car is a little bit sluggish. I don't know why. Maybe it's the tires. Maybe it's the damage. I don't know. Anyways, we got a little bit of a run underneath Ricky Craven's Pontiac. Underneath the 32 time machine. There we go. And our main goal right now is to just hang with the 8 car if we can. Definitely a little bit squirrely off turn 2. And I'm trying to keep these cats at bay right now. I'm trying to do some plate blocking. But after this, it's going to be an Infineon road course. So we're going to go back out West Coast for our first road course race of the summer. And, you know, I really like the road courses. I think they are, you know, some drivers probably look at them as maybe a nuisance. But to me, I look at it as an opportunity. You know, it's kind of funny how back in 2003, when this game was produced, there was a lot of guys who did not like the road courses. They had the road course ringers. But then you had some guys like Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon that just embraced the road course mentality. And now in 2020, going to 2021, you just see how many road courses they have. I mean, think about it. The Daytona road course was added in 2020. You got COTA, Road America, IMS. I mean, it's just unbelievable how many road courses are now in the Cup Series. So it just goes to show that Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart were the true first pioneers who took full embrace of the road course mentality. Yeah, there was some before him, obviously. But that was like the mainstream. Okay, road courses are a huge part of the championship. Anyways, lap 7 out of 20 here. Again, the car is a little bit sluggish, and truth be told, I don't know what we could do to it, because if we loosen the car, it's gonna be walking on eggshells. I don't know what we could do. Maybe fix it, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. is gonna pit early. So his strategy here, as we're about to approach halfway on fuel on the official fuel gauge down there, Dale Jr.'s call to win this race is to pit early, gain the track position on fresh Goodyears, and then block at the end of the race. Now, again, I'm not going to be one to question his strategy, but you definitely have to have a stout race car to hold off on old tires, considering he only raced 7 laps on those set of tires. Now he's going to have to run, get this, guys, at like 13 laps on the next set. So I do question that strategy. Michigan, like Auto Club, is basically a fuel mileage type of track. You know, you could pit at the earliest opportunity, but tires do play a factor a little bit. Underneath Kurt Busch there. We kind of cooled off a little bit, me and him, but you never know. We could see a championship rivalry brew, as me and Ryan Newman have that going for us. Now, the problem is that the guys who just pitted are going to be significantly faster through this period, but the thing is, there's a very good chance they're going to give it up at the end of this race. Because think about it, you know, fresh tires, 3 laps to go. Oh, Bobby just blew up right in front of Mark Martin there. Oh, that was tough. So, it only looks like a small amount of cars went down pit road here, but not too many. So, basically what I'm thinking now is, how do we get the best pit stop strategy? Because we pitted very late at the Coke 600. We lost a lot of track position, but now, do we want to pit a little bit earlier, or do we want to keep with that same strategy and just go for it, you know? There's so many different strategies when you have a one-stop race, because you have drivers who are going to pit early, leapfrog the field, and block at the end, and then you have drivers who will pit late, maybe catch a caution, trap some cats a lap down. You never know. Look at Jeff Burton's beautiful machine there. Is Jeff Gordon in? Gordon is in. He is going to pit now. Honestly, the car's racing pretty good on old tires. I'll be honest with that. And now Jeff Burton's running second. He's going to block us here entering turn 1. I need a diecast of that. That thing's beautiful, guys. Wow. What a hot rod. Here's Kevin Harvick on 4 fresh Goodyears. The thing is, guys, they're going to have to run roughly 12, maybe 11 laps on those set of tires. We're only going to have to run maybe 9, maybe 8. I think we're going to go ahead and pit here. We're well within our fuel window. I'm going to let Burton slide here. I'm going to go pit. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get my service done. Go ahead and get me some good years on the car. All right. Let's look at this. Pit options here. Do we want to repair the damage? Because it's going to cost us maybe 2 seconds. Truth be told, only thing I think we could do is lower the PSI here and repair the damage. Is it a stupid decision? I'm going to repair it because I think it's going to help the car rotate a little bit. Generally, the damage in this game, it tightens the race car up. You lose that downforce. It makes it more a manual steering, so to speak. My thinking is that if we do a wedge adjustment to make this car loose, even though they just adjusted the wedge there, ironically, if we do the wedge adjustment, it's going to be too much wedge taken out, and it's going to make the car too loose on older tires, which I'm not going to be that old of tires. But my point is that I like a half adjustment, and that half adjustment is repairing that side damage as best as we can. The problem is these cats were on new tires, so they gained a significant amount of track position. There's Jeff Burton there. Now, who's out front is Tony Stewart. Burton's still in second. Burton was in second when he pitted. So that tells me Burton and Tony Stewart still got to get some petrol. And Jeff Burton looks like he's going to pit here. He just went to the inside. That is the AI's way of saying, hey, we're going to pit here. And we just repaired all that damage. Let's not tear it up already. Tony Stewart, your race leader's in. Let's get our lap back for our stupid yellow waves. And that should put us back on the lead lap. Now, we're going to have to run Q-trim. I mean, we're just going to absolutely just have to flat-foot it and just hope and pray to God everything works out, you know. Stay humble, keep digging. Let's go. Lap 13 out of 20 here. Did we wait too long? Did Dale Jr. get way too out front? Possibly could Jeff Burton or Tony Stewart still pull this out? I mean, that's what I'm saying. The strategy is really interesting here at Michigan. And you got to think about it. When it's a one-stop race, it kind of opens up the playbook. Or it's like left field or right field, you know. Which position do you play? What is your strategy? Do you bunt? Do you go for the home run? There's a safe strategy. There's more of an aggressive strategy. It just depends what your race car is and what you want to accomplish. You do have to watch our RPMs. Now, one cat's going to be way out front, and how much you want to bet it's Dale Earnhardt Jr.? How original. Dale Jr. leapfrogs the field, and this is what I was talking about. Even though I wouldn't have pitted at lap 7, entering lap 8, he did. And look how much track position he's gained. He was 6th pitting there, and now he's out front. To us, it's probably 50 car lengths, but to Jeff Gordon, it's probably a good 15. Jeff Gordon pitted 1 lap after him, I believe, if not 2. So they're roughly on older tires. Jeff Gordon's not going to run him down. So as far as I'm concerned, Dale Jr., if a caution don't wave, he's going to win this race. It's either going to be him or Gordon. So, again, that's why I didn't question it. Like, hey, this is a stupid move, because Dale Jr. has the car and the capability to win these Winston Cup races like they're out of a cereal box. But for us, though, it's a points opportunity. Again, we're still 291 points out to Dale Earnhardt Jr. There's 4 cars ahead of us. That would put us well inside the top 5. And every position in the top 5 is 5 bonus points. Underneath Kevin Harvick there. Let's try to take care of the equipment and get to the end here. Again, if a caution waves, it's game on. So we need to make sure we keep on our toes. Because if we have a caution now, that would restart it with about 2 laps to go. Truth be told, I don't think we're going to get a caution. But there's tires. And Tony Stewart's going to probably pull away from us. He just pitted recently. I'm going to try to get underneath these 2 guys. Oh, no, no, no. I'm sorry, Mark. Dang it. That was stupid of me. Hopefully we can buy him a drink and maybe he'll be okay about it. I want to get around at least one of them. Ryan Newman or Mark Martin. Especially Mark Martin. He's more of a championship contender right now than Ryan Newman, believe it or not. Newman's had a couple DNFs this season. Oh boy. Car's getting pretty tight off the corner there with an extra draft. Burton's charging up with those fresh Goodyear, so Tony Stewart and Burton are going to be setting qualifying laps here. Dale Jr., it looks like he's lost a few tenths, perhaps maybe half a second, to Jeff Gordon, as Gordon is kind of reeling him in here. But Tony Stewart, can Tony Stewart pull off the miracle and not only catch Jeff Gordon, but catch Dale Earnhardt Jr.? We need Tony Stewart to win this race. That's one thing I do know. And I also need to get this top 5 here, so we need to get smooth and clean. The only problem, though, is a caution would end the race now. There is no more final restarts. So it's practically guaranteed that a bow tie is going to win this race. Granted, it'll be DEI, Hendrick, or Joe Gibbs Racing. But for us, we need to get around Mark Martin. He's mad. Yeah, I knew it. It's okay, though. He kind of hurt himself hitting us more than anything. And that gives Jeff Burton the 6th place spot. Now, I'm going to try to get around Ryan Newman here. It's going to be difficult. The lead is tightening up between Tony Stewart, who's only 2 seconds back with 2 laps to go. Gordon's right there between them. But there's still way too much track position. I just don't think Gordon can catch Earnhardt. Did Dale Earnhardt Jr. just win another Winston Cup race? I'm so sorry, Jeff Burton. I hate blocking you, buddy, but I really got to. Look, how about this? Me and you, Burton, let's just go past Ryan Newman, and then we'll be good, right? We'll be good. Oh, Nelly. Trying to race Jeff Burton clean here. I can't catch a toe. Oh, no, no, no. Gotta love how these analogs are, man. They kind of oversteer sometimes. And we are really sailing it in this corner here. Dang it, man. Car's getting way too loose off the corner. That's the problem with this tire wear. We pitted late, and look how bad our tires are now shaking. Man, we really had to get out of the throttle there. Just couldn't hold on to it. Burton goes way high to block. Come on, Burton. Give me the draft. Give me the draft, buddy. Come on. Dang it, we almost got around Burton. I should have hit Johnson there to get him out of the way, but your race winner, Dale Earnhardt Jr., imagine that. Tony Stewart takes the tires 6 seconds behind, only 1/10 behind Jeff Gordon, but wow, another big win for the DIECAST guys. Alrighty, folks, so good old Dale Jr. wins the race. We made a new rival in Mark Martin, which hopefully doesn't last too long, but you know, a good points day, but not a great one. We lost a lot of points to Dale Jr. here. Comes away with 180 points. We get 150, so 30 points. Puts us about 321 points out, roughly. We did gain a little bit of points on Johnson, Mark Martin, and Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Michael Waltrip, who was a top 10 points cat. So that's good for us, but definitely a big day for the DEI camp. Shows that track position really matters, and yeah, note to self when we go back here in, August. So, scroll through the field here. Let's see who your bottom of the barrel is today. Bobby Labonte, which I'm not saying it's going to be official, but it could be a championship ender, knowing that he didn't lead a lap and that Dale Earnhardt Jr., your points leader, just won. That could be a season-ending DNF for Bobby Labonte. Anyways, folks, thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Upload these every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Diecastbuffet. Hope you're having a great one, guys. Wow. We'll see you at Sonoma. It's going to be some fun short track. Oh, it's going to race like a short track. It's a freaking road course, you idiot. Anyways, guys, hope you're having a great one. Like, comment, and subscribe. Diecastbuffet signing off.